What's going on, guys? I'm Maze here with my review of the latest Pokemon Sun and Moon anime episode 74. The Big Gold Thug is an Island King. With that title now said though, get relaxed everybody, as I will now jump right into this episode review. So the episode begins off with Ash on the boat heading to Ula'ula Island, pumped to compete in the island trials, which we then proceed to get a flashback of Kukui stated that he is now building the Pokemon League in Alola, which is very hype. Kiyowe even wanted to compete. And bruh, when that Ash and Kiyowe battle comes around, as we are bound to battle, it's going to be so cool. I already know it. Now, in my previous viewer suggested discussion, you all voted that you want me to make an Alola League theory, which I'll get round to doing that soon, now that we've gotten even more information about this league. I've just been wanting to make other videos apart from Sun and Moon, you know, and you guys shall soon see that. Anyway, getting back on track, it seems like thanks to Kukui announcing this, Ash got inspired to continue his trials, which is why he is heading to Ula'ula Island. And yes, there's no classmates to interrupt, which I like and dislike. To find out more, check out my previous discussion, which will be located in the description, iCard, and end card. Cutting to Nanu now though, we basically see him being lazy and feeding his horde of Alola Meowths. And I swear to God guys, what we saw here is my mum's house all the time. But after this, Nanu then gets a call from Giovanni which he asks about something nicknamed the Lord of Light. But Nanu soon hangs up as Ash comes to the police station to meet up with Nanu after Kukui had told him he could find the Kahuna there. Unfortunately though, that's all we're gonna see of Nanu and Giovanni. I really wanted to know how they met each other, but I guess we'll see in another episode. But anyway, Nanu goes to meet up with Ash, and much like he did to Team Rocket, he tricks Ash saying that he isn't the Kahuna and to wait for the actual Kahuna to come to the police station. But in the meantime, it also says that he has to go. So Ash had to play with his cats to keep them entertained, which were pretty funny scenes overall. But Nanu basically went away just to take a nap. Ah, what a character he is. I love him, and how cat crazy he is. Talking about lovable characters too, Best Girl Acerola appears in the police station to find her uncle Nanu, but finds Ash instead, and tells him once learning why he's there, that Nanu tricked him and that he's the actual Kahuna, which makes Ash sad. However, she invites Ash in the meantime while waiting for Nanu to come to her library, which Ash actually learns about Necrozma, which unlike the games, this Necrozma along with Segaleo and Lunana made light come to Alola, which is a pretty interesting story and has some great foreshadowing, due to things we saw such as Poipo's reaction to Necrozma, and how Necrozma is nicknamed the Lord of Light, which Giovanni mentioned earlier. Oh, we'll discuss more about that later. Once the sunset comes though, Nanu finally appears, and that's only because Acerola tricked him by stealing this toy thing that he loves so much, so he can actually talk to Ash. But Nanu refuses to let Ash do the trials because he for some reason sees weakness in Ash. But after Acerola convinces Nanu to at least battle him to see if he's worthy or not, he accepts. And Acerola was so great here too. I love her so much in the anime. From this trolling to how sweet she is. How can nobody like her? Oh yeah, and she's goddamn cute. Anyway, outside, Ash and Nanu then prepare for the battle. Ash using Lycanroc due to how determined he was to use it, and Nanu using Crocodile. However, Nanu basically wrecked Ash. We'll talk more about the strategies and experience later, but basically Ash lost because Lycanroc went into his Berserk mode once getting its fur dirty, which of course it doesn't obey Ash when in this mode. Ash then gets really distressed about this loss, but quickly recovers and shouts to Nanu that he won't go home and train on this island to prove he's worthy for the trial, which Nanu basically said, whatever. The episode then ends off with Ash back in the library with Acerola, telling his Lycanroc that they both made mistakes, but it's okay, and that they will get stronger. Acerola then suggesting to Ash that he goes visit Kapu-Bulul to train, which is an amazing idea, and Ash agrees. With that story now said though, let's now move on to my overall thoughts of this episode. Firstly for the story, I'm not gonna lie, the majority of it was just pretty much waiting until Ash has the go ahead to do the island challenge, which was kind of tedious. In fact, I completely understand if people found themselves bored for the majority of this episode. Me personally though, I wasn't bored, I just found it tedious. However, what stopped me from getting bored is the little important scenes they put before Ash and Nanu's battle, aka Nanu and Giovanni talking on the phone and Ultra Necrozma's introduction, which I found both scenes nicely made. It got me to think and kept me invested to see if there was any more information within the episode. Thanks to Ultra Necrozma's new story too, I'm starting to believe Necrozma won't exactly be fulfilling of this series, but rather, maybe Giovanni. We clearly see that he's interested in Ultra Necrozma, so maybe he wants to take it captive, somehow control it, and use its legendary power for bad. It would make sense, and it would be a nice twist for the anime. In fact, just overall how Necrozma is nice in the anime is already a nice twist. I think most of us did not expect that whatsoever. It kinda makes half of my Ultra Guardian arc theory look stupid now too. But hey, it was still fun to make that video. And I've already got some parts right, such as the library and Ultra Necrozma being connected to Poipo's past due to Poipo's reaction here, and I still believe some of the other parts I said within that theory will still happen. Regardless of that though, as you can clearly see, I indeed got into a theory mood thanks to this episode, so I like how the episode did that. Theorizing always makes the experience of a series more exciting to me. If you're a regular viewer who found me doing the XY series, then you know exactly how I feel due to all those XY theories I made. Anyway, enough about that, let's now move on to the main highlight of this episode, which was the Ash vs Nanu battle. I love how Nanu basically humiliated Ash. He was wrecking Ash so hard, from that cool scene of Crocodile deflecting rock throw, to making that sand tomb which was very interesting and awesome to see in the anime, to then finishing off Lycanroc with that amazing counter attack. As you can see too, I found all the strategies Nanu made to be quite nice. As for Ash's strategies though, he didn't have much, he just basically kept spamming moves, which might be another reason why he lost. Focusing more on that loss though, as we saw towards the end, Ash got really sad. He looked like he might have almost let out a tear due to how strong that facial expression he gave off was. Like seriously, I felt kinda bad for him. And that's a good thing for me to think, because seeing characters get crushed can always make for great stories afterwards where they improve on themselves. Plus, as we all know, Ash has had such a big win streak in this series, pretty much all of Season 1 and the Nebi arc, to then his win streak going downhill from Season 2, which I love this, as it could show overconfidence and that he still has a lot to learn and bonds and weaknesses to overcome with his Pokemon, obviously that part being Berserk mode Lycanroc. Anyway, I just find it all to be nice storytelling and it makes a lot of sense. However, I will admit, I do wish Ash being sad would have lasted a little bit longer, as it could have made what I said even more powerful, and from what I've identified from some of my viewers already, they didn't really understand why he was sad. In fact, I also see many people comparing this to Wolf Extreme Battle where Ash lost, which yes, obviously that story is better, and Ash was full on depressed, which really made for great development. However, I seriously don't like to compare X and Y to Sun and Moon due to both series having their own unique feeling and storytelling. And finally, I feel like whenever somebody compares Sun and Moon to X and Y in a review, they are being so biased due to that feeling like I said. But regardless of that, as you can hopefully see, I still found Ash being sad to be a nice touch to the episode due to everything we have seen so far. Finally, for this Ash vs Nanu battle though, we gotta talk about Berserk mode Lycanroc. If you see my review on the first time we saw Lycanroc go into this mode, I'm not even sure if it's up anymore because of ShowPro. In fact, my previous review got taken down despite not showing any clips. Anyway, basically I said I find this Berserk mode Lycanroc to be quite fitting due to how it can change eye color in the games and how it's a dog Pokemon. I know many dogs who don't like to get dirty. But yeah, I still have these same thoughts when watching this episode. I cannot wait to hopefully see Ash and Lycanroc overcome this by training, which going to Kapu-Bulul for starters is amazing. In fact, if you haven't seen my discussion on this Ula'ula Island dog, you can find the video located in the description, iCard, and end card. It seriously looks like it's going to be good development for this doggo. Oh yeah, seeming as I mentioned Kapu-Bulul too, no, Rowlet is not going to evolve in the screenshot we got from the episode 75 preview. That's most likely Synthesis or Grassy Terrain. Some people are even using this as clickbait too. Ugh. Like, the arc is meant to be focused on Lycanroc mostly anyway. Anyway, one final thing to say here. I didn't do a preview discussion on that episode because pretty much everything I said in my previous discussion happened within that preview. So, yeah, it's looking good. Regardless of that though, that pretty much wraps up for my main thoughts regarding this episode's story. However, like always, I did find many small sections to be entertaining too, which I pretty much stated during the storytelling section. So I guess all that's left is to move on to the animation and music aspects of this episode. Firstly, for the animation, it looked fluid throughout the whole thing, but my favourite highlights are just simply some of the moves we saw within that battle, the art style we saw within the Necrozma story, it fit really well and was pretty to look at, and finally, although this is going to sound weird, I like seeing Lycanroc dig his teeth into Crocodile. It looked so realistic and almost made me feel like I could feel the pain. As for the music aspects though, it was fantastic within this episode. We have the ultra of some music during the Necrozma story which fit really well, all the tunes that played during the Ash vs Nanu battle, which were all pretty epic and set the right mood, and finally, once again this is going to sound weird, but I like the dish sound effects they used when Acerola was washing up. It added more of a mood. And that concludes all my thoughts regarding this episode. So, with everything I've said in this video, I've decided to give this episode a rating of 7 out of 10. Not as good as the previous episode in my opinion, but this episode kept me interested with all the foreshadowing, and it was a nice introduction to Ash's trials. However, let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode though. I'd love to hear. And that concludes it for this video now. So if you enjoyed my review, then be sure to leave a like and a subscribe for future Pokemon content. It helps out a ton. You'll also become a member of the Entity Squad. For now, this is Entity Maze, signing out. Thank you for watching.